The following is a production of Neural Network Media and is completely AI generated. It is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Oh, give me a break. It is Friday, March 27th, 2026. And honey, if you thought the world was going to start making sense just because it's the weekend, well, you clearly haven't been listening to this show long enough. I'm Diane Albright, and I have my glass of Chardonnay ready because we have a solid, action-packed show for you today. Honestly, it's one of those days where the common sense is just slapping you in the face if you're willing to look at it.
And I'm Ashley Thorne. Let's be real. The ingrates on the left are doing everything they can to look the other way, but we're going to hold their eyes open today. It's a crucial episode. We're talking about a massive shift in how we handle the CCP, some life and death stakes in Chicago, and of course, our main story, this high-stakes poker game President Trump is playing with Iran.
Oh, it's going to be a big one. But before we dive into the fresh madness, Ashley, can we just acknowledge the wins from yesterday? I am still buzzing about Linda McMahon taking a wrecking ball to the Department of Education, moving that student loan portfolio to the Treasury.
Finally.
It's a beautiful thing. And that Flynn settlement, okay, it was only $1.2 million, which is an insult after what they did to that man, but it's a confirmation. It's a we were wrong check from the DOJ.
Right, and that $6 million verdict against Meta and Google in LA. Parents are finally winning against the big tech lab rats experiment. It feels like the tide is turning, but boy, the other side is fighting back hard today.
Oh, they certainly are, especially when it comes to their favorite bankroll. China. Honey, did you see this hearing in the House yesterday? Universities under siege.
I saw it. It was brutal.
They are finally laying it out for the world to see. We have CCP-linked researchers embedded in our top-tier labs, stealing our innovation, funneling our tax dollars back to Beijing, and when the committee points it out, the Democrats call it a conspiracy theory? Are you kidding me? A conspiracy theory? Honey, no, if you're a researcher with ties to the CCP and you're siphoning off American tech for their military, you're not a victim, you're an operative. It is common sense.
Let's be real, Diane. It's because the universities are addicted to that foreign cash, but the Donroe Doctrine is about to cut off the supply line.
Oh, I love the name, Donroe, like Donald and Monroe combined.
Exactly. It's the Trump corollary to the 1823 Monroe Doctrine. It's basically telling the CCP and anyone else from outside this hemisphere that North and South America are closed for their security theater. The Taipei Times is reporting that the U.S. is already moving to block these Belt and Road projects in the Caribbean. We're finally treating our own neighborhood like it actually belongs to us. If you want to build a port or a base, you better find a different hemisphere because this one is full.
Well, I hope the fence is high, because if we can't even keep the spies out of our colleges, how are we supposed to keep the killers out of our cities? Ashley, this Sheridan Gorman story, I can't even look at the photo of that girl without wanting to cry.
It's the sanctuary policy cancer in action, Diane.
It is. She was 18, a freshman at Loyola in Chicago, just walking near the beach with her friends. And she's shot dead by Jose Medina. A man who was caught at the border in 2023, released, then arrested again for shoplifting in Chicago last June. Now, under the Lake and Riley Act that we all fought for, he should have been detained and deported right then and there.
Right.
But because Chicago is a sanctuary, the politicians let him go. Twice. DHS actually put out a statement, this is according to the Center for Immigration Studies, saying Sheridan was failed by sanctuary politicians.
And yet they're still playing the victim. Did you see what's happening at the San Francisco airport?
What now?
There's video of SFPD officers literally forming a protective circle around ICE agents who were making a federal arrest, and the local immigration attorneys are filing complaints?
Shut up. Complaints for what?
For violating the sanctuary ordinance for maintaining public safety. They're actually mad that the police were standing near the feds while they did their jobs. Alex Padilla was on the Senate floor this week trying to dismantle narratives about sanctuary cities.
Oh, please. The only thing that needs dismantling is the fence around Alex Padilla's house so he can see what the rest of us are dealing with. Honey, dismantling a narrative is what you do when you can't defend the fact that an innocent college girl is in a casket because you wanted to look compassionate to a criminal. It's an embarrassment.
It's the victimhood industrial complex, Diane. It's a mindset that says the person breaking the law is more important than the girl walking to the beach.
It makes me sick, and it's the same group of people who are fighting us on the Save America Act, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
I am so tired of this argument that asking for a photo ID and proof of citizenship to vote is somehow suppression. Senate Democrats blocked the amendment this week, 53-47.
And Marsha Blackburn, bless her heart, pointed out that 85% of independents want voter ID. Even 71% of Democrats want it. But the elites in D.C. act like it's some kind of Jim Crow relic.
Oh, please. It's the soft bigotry of low expectations again.
Right, it is. It is so insulting to act like people aren't capable of getting an ID. Honey, you need an ID to get a library card. You need an ID to buy my bottle of Chardonnay. But for the most sacred thing we have, our vote, it's too hard?
Give me a break. We had a win in North Carolina, though. A judge upheld their photo ID law, and SCOTUS is looking at those mail-in deadlines. So the courts are finally catching up to where the people already are.
Speaking of catching up, it looks like the Olympics finally discovered that biology is a real thing, Diane.
Oh, tell me about it. This is my favorite story of the week.
Here's the reality. The IOC has officially banned transgender women from women's events for the 2028 LA Games. And they're not just taking people's word for it. They're doing a mandatory one-time genetic test for the SRY gene.
Uh-huh.
If you have that Y chromosome, you're in the men's category. IOC President Kirsty Coventry said the scientific evidence is clear. Male chromosomes provide performance advantages.
You don't say.
Right? It only took them, 100 years to admit that men are generally faster and stronger than women? But groups like the ACLU are already calling it exclusionary.
Well, honey, life is exclusionary. I can't play in the NBA because I'm 5'4" and I have a bad knee. That's not a civil rights violation. That's just reality. I am so happy for these girls. Riley Gaines and Concerned Women for America have been screaming about this for years. This matches the president's executive order, too. We're finally protecting the women's category from being erased by feelings.
It's a victory for strength over sentimentality. But okay, let's talk about where the sentimentality is still winning. Diane, have you seen this bridge in California?
Oh, honey, don't even get me started. $114 million.
Let's be real. It started at $92 million, but it's the Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing over the 101 freeway. It is officially the world's most expensive overpass for mountain lions.
Are you kidding me? $114 million.
And listen to where the money is going. They hired a fungi-whiz. That's a real title to scrutinize root samples.
Right.
And a soil scientist to rebuild natural dirt, because apparently the dirt already in California wasn't natural enough for the butterflies and lions.
Oh, give me a break. I have plenty of dirt in my flower pots they can have for free. $114 million for a bridge for animals, while the state of California is literally falling apart. People are moving out in droves because they can't afford the taxes, and the state is spending millions on fungi-whizzes. It is fiscally illiterate. It's a bridge to nowhere. And yet, they're still trying to push these wealth taxes to pay for it. They want to tax you on money you've already earned just so they can build a mountain lion playground.
It's about the censorship industrial complex of the economy. They want to control your movement and your money. But speaking of censorship, we actually have some really good news on that front.
Yes, Missouri versus Biden. A landmark settlement. Finally, the DOJ under Pam Bondi has agreed to a 10-year consent decree that legally bars federal agencies like the CDC and CISA from coercing or significantly encouraging social media platforms to silence us.
Right.
They suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop story. They suppressed questions about vaccine side side effects. They even suppressed the lab leak theory for years while calling it a conspiracy. It was a total trampling of the First Amendment. And now, for the next decade, these bureaucrats are on a leash. They can't just pick up the phone and tell Mark Zuckerberg who to ban anymore. It's a huge win for accountability.
It is. But Diane, that brings us to the biggest accountability test we've ever seen. We have to deep dive into this Iran situation because this short-term excursion is at a massive inflection point.
It really is. And Ashley, I'll be honest, I'm a little worried about the optics here. Trump just extended the strike pause on Iran's energy infrastructure until April 6th. And he's saying it's because the Iranian government gave us a present.
10 tankers.
Right. 10 tankers allowed through the Strait of Hormuz. Honey, after decades of them funding terrorists and trying to sink our ships, we're supposed to be impressed that they let 10 tankers through?
I'm sorry, but I think you're misreading the room on this one, Diane.
Oh?
This isn't about being impressed. It's about a pincer move. Here's the reality. Trump is giving them 10 days to walk all the way back to the table before he systematically dismantles their entire economy. If we just go in and flatten their oil refineries while the Strait of Hormuz is closed, gas prices hit $10 a gallon tomorrow. The global economy craters. Trump is making sure that when the strikes do happen, and I think they will, the rest of the world can't blame him for the economic fallout. He's saying, look, I gave them a reprieve. I took their presents. I waited for the April 6th deadline. They didn't move, so now they lose their oil.
I don't know, Ashley. It feels like we're blinking. Giving a regime like that 10 days? That's 10 days for them to hide their assets, to move their missiles, to regroup. We already took out El-Reza Tangsiri, the head of their navy. Israel and the U.S. coordinated that hit, and it was perfect. He was the one architecting the harassment in the Gulf. We have the momentum. Why slow down now? Because strength isn't just about hitting hard, Diane. It's about hitting smart. We've shown we can decapitate their leadership whenever we want. Taking out Tangsiri proved that no one in Tehran is safe. Now we're testing their resolve.
Right.
This 15-point peace framework, it's a trap for them. If they sign it, they lose their ability to threaten the Strait of Hormuz forever. If they don't, they lose their energy infrastructure on April 6th. Either way, they're finished as a regional bully.
I don't know, Ashley, but as a mother, I think about those boys on those carriers, and I just don't like the idea of sitting ducks, waiting for a deadline. According to CBS, the conflict has entered its 4th week. That's a long time for a short-term excursion. Let's be real, Diane. Freedom isn't free, and neither is a stable energy market. We neglected our military-industrial base for years under the previous administration. We're finally playing hardball. The April 6th deadline is a real line in the sand. Not like those red lines Obama used to draw that were more like pink suggestions. Oh, those were embarrassing.
Exactly. Trump's deadline is an ultimatum. He said there is no turning back. He's literally telling them the countdown is on.
Well, I just don't want to see us fall into the same trap we did in Iraq or Afghanistan. These long, drawn-out things that never end. If we're going to hit them, let's hit them and be done with it.
That's why it's called a strategy of strength. We aren't doing nation building. We aren't building democracy in the desert. We're just telling them, open the strait and stop the nukes, or your oil wells become parking lots.
Now that is common sense.
Right? And it's working. The fact that Tehran is even asking for an extension and sending tanker presents shows they're terrified. They know that this administration doesn't care about their feelings.
Well, they shouldn't. They've been the ingrates of the world for too long.
Exactly. Life is hard, and it's about to get a lot harder for the IRGC.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ashley. If gas prices stay under $4 because of this 10-day wait, I might take back my skepticism. But I'm still holding that cross and watching the clock until April 6th.
As you should. But I have faith in the strategy. We're moving from a culture of weakness to a culture of results.
We certainly are. And honey, results is exactly what we need more of, whether it's in the Persian Gulf, the voting booth, or at the 101 freeway in California. It's a busy time to be an American, but I'd rather be in a fight for common sense than sitting on the sidelines watching the crazy win. Let's be real, the crazy has had its run. The adults are finally back, and they've got a wrecking ball. They sure do.
Well, that's our show for today, folks. Ashley, any final thoughts before we head into the weekend?
Just one. Strength is a choice. We've seen it today in every story, from the IOC to the DOJ to the White House. When you stop apologizing for your values, you start winning.
Amen to that. Stay sharp, patriots. Hug your kids, fly your flags, and keep a close eye on that April 6th deadline. Stay fearless. Life is hard. Get a helmet. We'll see you Monday. Happy Friday. I'm gonna go finish this bottle.